What is going on, guys? Big thanks to Matt Likes Comics for inspiring today's video. He tagged me in the Green Lantern cover challenge, and it was definitely a challenge. Green Lantern is one of my favorite characters, and in my last Green Lantern video, you guys said you wanted more, so this was the perfect excuse to go through more of my collection. And in the original tag, I believe he said it was 5 books, but Matt went ahead and did 10, so that is what I did as well. So let's just not waste any more time and get right into it. So the first book I wanted to show is something I felt really embodied the Silver Age of comics, and that's why I picked this one. Green Lantern 31. It's a Gil Kane, Murphy Anderson cover. And the reason I picked this one is because it's just so silly. Hal Jordan is selling Green Lantern power rings. I think of another book I have where Batman is like auctioning all his gear off. So that's the first book I wanted to show. Definitely starts off a little goofy and then gets a lot more serious. And then the next one I wanted to show is another Silver Age book. This is one I actually got very recently. This is Green Lantern number 52. And it's just such an iconic cover of Hal Jordan and Sinestro. I always love an all-black moment, and I really love how they are separated by their green and yellow. Back in these days, Green Lanterns were weak to yellow, so all their villains had yellow. And that actually kind of leads into the next cover I picked. This one is Green Lantern number 62. This is one of the earlier Neal Adams covers that he did for Green Lantern. So yeah, Green Lanterns, they were weak to yellow. That was their only weakness. And that went on until like the 2000s when Jeff Johns took over. And there were some big changes made, like adding all the other colors to the Lantern Corps. But today we're just talking about green, and that's something that I really like about the old Green Lantern books. I think it's really silly, so yeah, had to include that, of course, being a great Neal Adams cover. And that's not the only Neal Adams cover I pulled out for this video. This is actually one of my favorite covers that I'm going to show. This is World's Finest 201. And this is just a beautiful cover. You have Superman, Green Lantern, and Dr. Fate. And this one is 15 cents, so it's starting to get a little bit into the Bronze Age. This era of Neal Adams, you just cannot go wrong with, so absolutely had to put it on the list. And then next up, we're jumping ahead quite a bit to after Crisis on Infinite Earths, when there was a bit of a reset in the continuity. And one of the changes made to Hal Jordan was that he was a little bit of a bad boy, and he actually got himself in some trouble. He actually got a DUI. Spent a little bit of time locked up when he first became Green Lantern. Emerald Dawn and Emerald Dawn 2 were kind of my introductory reading for Hal Jordan. So there you go, bad boy Hal Jordan. Don't let the whole superhero thing fool you. Alright, and continuing his bad boy streak, he actually went on to do some pretty bad things throughout the 90s, and something that happened was he kind of killed the rest of the Green Lanterns, and I'm sure you guys have seen this cover, even if you're not really a Green Lantern or DC fan. It's Hal Jordan after he murders the Green Lantern Corps, wearing all of their rings. This cover has been homaged so many times, so I'm sure you've seen this in some form. This is a bit of a controversial story. Some people who were Hal Jordan fans before thought it was kind of disrespectful to his character, but for me, being a bit of a younger reader, I think that this story arc really added an extra layer of depth to Hal Jordan's character. And I think it's really helped keep the character relevant in the modern age, honestly. So, something I found out was that when Emerald Twilight was coming out, there was actually a different version of the story where Hal Jordan kind of continued on as a force for good. And I just don't think that would have been as interesting. I don't think it would have made his return to the Green Lanterns as impactful as it was and the whole dynamic he has with the Justice League of trying to regain their trust. I just think that had they gone the original route and played it safe, the character of Hal Jordan just might not have been considered interesting enough to bring back. That's kind of my 2 cents on it. So after Hal Jordan went crazy, he kind of became Parallax and then died and became the Spectre. And then eventually in the early 2000s, he was brought back by Geoff Johns. This is issue number 1 from that, and I wanted to show off this Alex Ross cover. This is for sure one of the most famous pictures of Hal Jordan. I see this picture used all the time on t-shirts, on posters, and that goes for a lot of Alex Ross's artwork. He is just a very iconic artist and had to have this on there. Okay, and then another book from the Geoff Johns Green Lantern run. This is issue number 9. And of course I had to include this one because you got my boy Batman on there. I love seeing these two go at it. They're both so stubborn. It's kind of like an old married couple, and I love it. And then we have another one from the Geoff Johns era, but this one is actually from Blackest Night. That was one of the storylines that really got me into comic books, and this was just one of my favorite covers. I really love how you have this army of Black Lanterns, and then you have Hal Jordan as a beacon of light in the middle. I think this is an Ivan Reis. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an Ivan Reis, and he's a great artist. He's doing some really cool stuff at Ghost Machine right now. Yeah, had to throw in one from Blackest Night. And last, but certainly not least, we get to the modern age, and this was actually from, I think, 2023. This is Green Lantern number 1, the foil variant, and they actually did a whole wave of these for all the different Lantern Corps, and I do have that full set. There's actually a video I did way back on my channel where I unboxed these if you want to take a trip down memory lane and go watch that. But I just pulled out green for now. This has to be one of my favorite foils in my collection. I've been pretty critical of foils before, but this one, you just can't go wrong with the classic logo like that. So there you go.
A few moments later.
Alright, I had to come back and do some honorable mentions because I had such a hard time choosing. So we have Batman the Dawnbreaker. This was Batman's Green Lantern form in Dark Knight's Metal. Green Lantern 155. I chose this one because it's a great picture of Hal Jordan, and I love that it has the entire Green Lantern oath. One of my favorites for sure. And then this one is kind of like a Silver Age throwback one-shot, Justice League of America. We have some of that absurdism that we were talking about in the Silver Age, and as you can see, Hal Jordan is not exactly being a good guy in this one, so a little bit more bad boy Hal. And then Matt, I threw this one in for you, my man. We have a Legion of Superheroes book, number 295. This one I've had for a while, and I definitely picked it up because of the Green Lanterns on the cover. So if you've read this one, let me know how it is, my man. And yeah, okay, had to throw those in, sorry. So that's my list. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you again to Matt Likes Comics. I'll be sure to link his video in the description if you want to see what he picked out. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Peace out.